Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading, we're taking a look at your personal boundaries. We're taking a look at what are the things that you allow in and what things that you never allow people to do to you, things that are a no-no to you, that you never allow and are kept as a sacred boundary for you. So in order to do this reading, we have four piles. We have the desert rose stone. We have the hematite stone. For pile number 3, we have the moonstone. And for pile number 4, we have the rainbow obsidian. See which stone is calling out the most for you, and that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one stone, that there are more messages there for you in this today's reading. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your time and you'll be fast forwarded to your reading. Hi, pile number 1. So you've chosen this beautiful desert rose. And right away, this tells me that you have developed your strength over time. The more you grow up, the stronger of a person that you become. I see that you learn from the experiences that happen to you. Whatever comes up, you, just like the desert rose, build a new petal for the new experience that you have learned. So whatever happens, you may, if you realize that you didn't know how to deal with a certain situation, you definitely over time understand yourself better, you understand what others do better, and you develop more boundaries as you grow, becoming this very strong yet very beautiful person in the world. And the more you grow, the stronger of a character that you build and the more attractive you become. Also with the desert rose, I see that you are a very patient person. And I don't mean that with people only necessarily. I also mean that with yourself, pile number 1. You forgive yourself quite easily. And instead of blaming yourself for not being able to set the right boundaries, you learn from them. So you also give yourself time to learn how to develop this boundary. So if you've seen yourself not able to deal with a certain situation, you don't blame yourself the next time when it happens, because you know that it's a process. And the third time and the fourth time, you instead see them as learning opportunities. And by time, with the trial and error, you know how to set them clear and strong, and you know what to do, and it becomes second nature to you. So that's a very smart way and healthy way to deal with yourself and to learn how to set boundaries, pile number 1. I really like how you do that here. All right, let's take a look at your tarot cards and see more about what your boundaries are, what you allow and what you don't allow with people. All right, so what are pile number 1's boundaries with people? What are pile number 1's boundaries with people? All right, so let's put this here. So you have the 10 of Swords in reverse. So again, the thing that I see straight away is that you're patient with people. You give people several chances before you block them off your life. You are not very quick to cut out people. You give them several chances to see whether they meant it or not, whether you misunderstood it or not, whether they would do it again or not. But if after several trials they've proven to be toxic, you are very quick, pile number 1, to cut them off of your life forever. No hesitation there. And so some people are fooled into thinking that you don't have boundaries in the beginning, but they later realize when they're out of your life how much of a strong boundary, just like the desert rose, you are, that they cannot come into your life, and they start feeling sorry for the amount of chances that they have missed in order to rectify their actions and stay in your life. Pile number 1. Wow, pile number 1. You are a very special and unique person in the community. To be quite frank with you, I mean, you have the stars card here. And with the desert rose, it's a very unique stone right there. And what I see here straight away, because you are a wonderful person, a beautiful person, full of emotions on the inside and a hardcore on the outside, you only keep those close to you who you fully trust, who have stood the test of time, showed you their high ethical side, their honesty, their respect towards you, and you nourish these relationships while you keep other relationships that aren't quite as firm with their dealings with other people in terms of honesty and integrity, and you're very quick to just keep them out. You never let them into the circle. So one of your strong boundaries is your inner circle. You're very careful about who you let in, and the people who are in are quite lucky because they are very few. You can even count them on one hand. Pile number 1. Pile number 1, you're a very unique person. One of your boundaries, pile number 1, are old relationships. You do not allow anything to happen to your old relationships that we've talked about here that you really cherish. I see you, once the people who make it to your inner circle make it, you are very gentle with them, you're very sweet, and you make sure that there aren't any misunderstandings. And the boundary here is that you go out of your way to make sure that things are clear, that the people in your inner circle are well taken care of, and that you nourish this relationship. Your boundary is that you can actually take time out of your day and out of the important things that you have to do to make sure that these relationships are kept strong and are nourishing, just like a flower there. They don't die and they grow over time. Pile number 1. So personal relationships, the dear ones, they are very important to you and they are a boundary. You do not allow other people to come near them, to speak badly about them. People watch you get out of their way, not doing things for them, but always doing things for these inner circle, the people in your inner circle that you protect dearly. So people in your inner circle, inner circle could be dear family members, could be friendships that are very dear to your heart, could be people that you've worked with and have proven over time to be very faithful and to be loyal to the job and to you and to whatever they're working on. So these sort of dear relationships you nourish very well and you keep very safe, and you keep everything out of bay to make sure, you see you have an X here, a shield, to make sure that they're protected and loved, and that they flourish and grow. Pile number 1. No wonder you have the rose here. All right, so right away with the 8 of Wands, I see that you're the sort of person who takes instant action whenever you don't like a certain behavior. I see this as a result of you growing over the years, understanding how to properly set boundaries, and now you don't even need to think about it. You have developed the right actions. You automatically, unconsciously know how to act within a certain situation that you don't like, and this is part of your very strong boundary keeping skills. Whenever anything happens, you're not the sort of person who now goes back and thinks about what they're going to do and what they're going to say. You've already done that homework over the years with your patience and your perseverance, and you now know how to act quickly and know what to do in order to keep the toxic behavior at bay. Pile number 1. All right. With the 6 of Wands here, pile number 1, I see that you feel very triumphant over the hard work that you've done over the years. You've now healed. You've become a very happy person to a great extent. And one of your boundaries is that you don't allow toxic behaviors into your life anymore. The sort of toxicity that could ever knock you off your balance like it used to in the past, pile number 1. I see that you don't allow your own thoughts to knock you off your feet. You don't allow other people's behavior to trigger you anymore. And I see you being a pleasant, calm person. And one of your strong boundaries with yourself, pile number 1, is that you now have healthier thoughts, and you don't allow people to trigger your emotions anymore, to make you angry, to make you scared, to make you shocked. You're now more stable, and that is one of the personal boundaries that you've learned to create over time that really helps you act in a better way, pile number 1. How smart. I really love that about you. And of course, last but not least, with the 3 of Pentacles here, I see that one of your personal boundaries, pile number 1, is your work. You do not allow anyone or anything to interfere with the quality of work that you do, with the integrity of the work ethics that you have. And if a team member or anything is going to jeopardize all this hard work and the quality and the goals that you have towards your work, you're very quick to call them out. You're very quick to show where things are going wrong. You're not afraid of people being angry at you. You're not afraid of people not liking you. You will call out anything that would hinder the quality of work that you put in and the amount of effort, especially because you have goals that are very close to your heart, and you will achieve them no matter what. And you're not going to let co-workers who are lazy, who don't want to work, who just want to finish their work quickly, to hinder you from reaching the overall goal that you have for yourself and for your organization in general. Pile number 1, it was really an honor doing your reading about your boundaries. I see you have very healthy boundaries, and the reason they're healthy is because you've calmly developed them just like a desert rose over the years. I love your character, and if you've liked this reading, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload, and please comment and let me know who you are. I would love to get to know you better, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 2. So you've chosen the Hematite, and pile number 2. You have a very strong character in general, because the Hematite stone, it has an authoritarian force. It releases self-imposed limitations, and so this shows me that you're a person who does not hesitate whatsoever to call out any behavior that you do not like. You're a very strong person by nature. You're not afraid to speak up, and you certainly know how to call out people and how to keep yourself safe from any toxicity or negativity from the people around you. People know, pile number 2, not to mess with you specifically out of everyone. So pile number 2, you seem like a very interesting, strong character. I also see something here that you have some huge magnetic powers, just like the Hematite. And I think your magnetic personality and the strong, charismatic personality is actually one of your boundaries. People love you so much, they don't want to lose you. They feel honored to have you part of their lives. And that's actually, whether you know it or not, is one of your boundaries, pile number 2. Okay, so let's have a look at your tarot cards and see more what your personal boundaries are, and what you keep out for sure, what you allow in, and what you never allow people to do. So what are pile number twos? I don't know what's wrong with me today. So what are pile number two's personal boundaries? What are pile number two's personal boundaries? All right, let's take a look. So you have the Justice card in reverse. So pile number two. Most people, or a lot of people, it's their empathy that sometimes makes it hard for them to defend themselves or to get back at people. And while you're a very honest, empathetic person, no question about that, you do not care if you're going to hurt people, or if you're going to bring unfairness, not unfairness, that's not the right word, or if you're going to kick them off their path if they mess with you. So other people could say, oh, but they're gonna lose their job, oh, but they're gonna feel really bad about that. No, that's not something that you believe in. You believe that people should think very well about their actions, because if they thought it was okay to do it to you, then they should have a taste of that as well. I mean, they should have thought about that before they act. And now that they've gotten their fair treatment, now they can think about what to do the next time with other people and with you. You see it as a chance for these people to learn how to decrease their toxicity and their dishonesties towards other people. So you have no problem whatsoever getting back at people, just to teach them that they should never cross their boundaries with you or with other people in general. Pile number one. Very strong character there. You have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So one of the things that you truly protect, pile number two, is the hard work that you've built. Whatever comes near your properties, near your work, near your finances, they know they're going to get it. So one of the examples is, you don't like anyone to think they can fool you with prices, fool you with a silly deal. No one is able to create deals that they think are going to be beneficial for them and not for you. You're very quick about noticing where the issues are that will hinder your progress later. You're very quick to notice how people think they could mess with you, and you're very quick to cut these people out of your business life. Any co-workers that think they can come and kick you out of your place, or mess around, talk behind your back, show that your work is not as good when you've worked very hard on it, they are just going to see something that they haven't seen before with you, pile number two. People know they can't mess with you, and your exterior really shows it. The way you look, the strength in your eyes, the strength in your movement and your character really shows people not to ever mess with you again. And again, with contracts and deals and sales, wherever you're in, well, other people are really afraid to call people out and tell them, I think you're not being really honest here. I think this price is a little too much. I think you're not giving me the right deal. You're going to call them out. You're going to take your right. And people watch you do things that they otherwise didn't think it was possible. People see you. If you, for example, have a problem with your phone line, and your phone service tells you that, well, I think you've missed your chance, and you should have paid this and not that, and you see this situation as very unfair and that they've taken your rights somehow, you are going to twist things around, talk to managers, get to the person in charge, speak about them on social media. You're going to do whatever it takes to get your rights back, and people really watch in awe, watch you do that, and they watch you take your rights back. You don't just stand there saying, oh, they were unfair to me and I lost this and that. That's not you, pile number one. You're a very, very strong person, and I personally admire your character. Okay, so one of your personal boundaries, pile, you know how to live, pile number two. You are a character that really knows how to live. I'm sure you're very proud of yourself, pile number two. So one of the things that definitely don't hinder you, pile number two, is toxic relationships. While other people can be affected by love and by dear and warm emotions, that does not hinder you, pile number two. So even if you're madly in love with someone, they cross their boundaries with you and they are out. You move on and you know you're going to find something better in the world. You're not going to sit there and cry and wait for the other people to change. That's not you. Love and emotions, while they run deep, by the way, pile number two, you experience. People think you don't have emotions. Then that's not true, pile number two. You have some very deep emotions that you only give out to the people who deserve it, the people you trust, the people who are close to you. They know how warm and loving you are, and they're very thankful that you are in their lives. But they behave wrong and they cross their boundaries. They behave in a toxic way and they're sure to be out. That's definitely one of your boundaries there, pile number two. No matter who this person is, if they act with toxicity, they're out. At least they're going to be called out for it. That is for sure. Oh, again with the Eight of Wands in the second pile. So here, with the Eight of Wands, one of your personal boundaries is your ability to speak your mind. You are not afraid to speak up. This is something that comes naturally to you. It's not something that you've developed over time. And you're able to call out instantly what you don't like. And you're very witty and smart with your words. People are amazed with what you come up with to say in order to keep your boundaries clear. So some people have courage, pile number two, but they're not very good with their words. They come back home and they say, oh, I could have said this, I could have said that, oh, and then have more ideas a couple of days later on. But with you, pile number two, you're very blessed with your wittiness. You already know what to say in this situation, and you're very skilled with your speech. You know how to call people out. You know what to say in whatever situation you're in. I think your personal motto, pile number one, is I don't lose. When I'm right, I don't lose. And that's what keeps you going. That's what gives you the ideas. That's what cultivates your creative juices. And that is what helps you get back your rights instantaneously, pile number two. This is really your secret, is that you don't lose, pile number two. All right. So with the King of Pentacles here, pile number two, I see that you have created an authoritarian, like we spoke about with the Hematite, an authoritarian position socially, pile number two. And you will not allow anyone to think, any newcomer to think that they can mess with you so that they can take your place in this position. And this position, by the way, pile number two, you didn't wait for people to give to you. It's just really where you're supposed to be. You're strong. You're a leader by nature. And you're not ever going to allow anyone to come and think they can knock you off your feet, who can think they can embarrass you. Might they even try? And you are calmly going to show people their real position if they ever mess with you socially. So one of your boundaries, pile number two, is your natural ability to keep that authoritative position socially. And this authoritative position that you naturally know how to fit into, is really what keeps people at bay. It's one of your strong personal boundaries. It's not something that you've created. It's just something that happens to you naturally, and it naturally gives you this personal it's one of your the personal boundaries that you have but it's something that you haven't worked on. It's just something that comes very natural to you. It's this aura that you have. It's how people see your position socially, and they know not to mess with you because it looks like you have rooted yourself very deep where you are, and it's not very easy to come for people and kick you out. So this air and your position socially is one of your strong personal boundaries. Pile number 2. You're a very interesting character. I would love to get to know more about you in the comment section. Please let me know who you are, pile number 2. Let me know that you're pile 2. I would love to meet you. And pile number 2. I didn't expect you to get this card. So you have the King of Pentacles and you have the Queen of Pentacles. And you have both characteristics here. So pile number 2. While people see you as having this strong masculine force, this strong character, they also see you as a very loving person once they get to know you. And then you're asking, what does this have to do with my personal boundaries? Well, let me tell you, pile number 2, this is because of your good heart and because you're a good person at heart, and you show people by time how you can be there for them, how you can support them, how you can help others, and you're not just all about yourself. Even though you have this strong character, you also serve other people a lot, and it's because of this love and this giving that you give that people actually stand there as your personal boundaries. They don't allow others to speak behind your back. They don't allow others to harm you because they have great respect for you, and they appreciate the kind things that you've done for them. Pile number 2. Pile number 2, the Hematite stone, is one of my very favorite stones because, like I said, it has this magnetic power, it has an authoritarian force, and it has the ability to absorb negative emotions and create strong energetic boundaries. And these characteristics, they're in you naturally, pile number 2. So I have a lot of respect for you. I have a lot of love for you. And we can all learn a thing or two about how you create boundaries and how you are strong and magnetic at the same time. Kudos to you, pile number 2. I loved your reading. It was an honor doing your reading for you. And if you've liked it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you've chosen this beautiful Moonstone. And straight away, what I can see with the Moonstone is that you are a person that is more concerned about the how than the what. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you can let others get away with some things, and you would not let other people get away with the same thing. Because you're not concerned about what it is that they've done, but more about how they've done it. And also, that goes with the same person. And it could get a little bit confusing with people sometimes, because they would do one thing to you once and it's totally okay, and they do it another time and it's definitely not okay. And you are very right about this, because the reason you're not letting it go sometimes and letting it go at other times is because you can see, you have an intuitiveness to see and feel whether this person meant it at this time or not, and whether they meant it at another time or not. You would constantly have people tell you, but we just did that last week and you didn't mind. Why are you talking to me about it now? And it definitely matters, because while you could have done it last week, it was done with good intentions. Maybe it was done in an appropriate manner, and that this time it definitely didn't come out in the appropriate way. So with your personal boundaries, pile number 3, there are two things. You intuitively know whether a person is meaning to be toxic or not, and you intuitively know, and you judge by how it's done and not necessarily by what is done. So you can let go of big things if you feel and know that it wasn't meant, but you would never let go of things, even if they were very small, because you know that someone meant something when they've done it. Pile number 3. That's very interesting right there with the Moonstone. You have an internal compass that's very strong, that allows you to know what people are all about, while other people are still thinking, oh, this is a nice person, they didn't mean it, they're so sweet. You are very quick to see toxic patterns from the very beginning. You are very quick to see what people mean to do and what they don't mean to do. And you are the first person who realizes that this newcomer is not a good person, or is actually a very good person when most people think they're not. You are very in touch and in tune with your spiritual side. Pile number 3. Oh, you have the Empress. I'm not surprised. Pile number 3. So with the Empress here, pile number 3, I see you as being really loved socially. I think that most people think you have this combination between being very beautiful or very handsome, very empathetic, and at the same time being strong. And people might in the beginning think, because of this sweet character and gentleness that you have, that you would let things go. But as they get hit by the first boundary setting that you put, they know not to mess with you forever. So the way you set boundaries, pile number 3, is quite unique. You're initially is what I want to say. You're initially quite good to people. You're initially welcoming. And if people get the wrong idea behind this niceness and this welcoming, they know they're gonna get it. Pile number 1. So that's how you do it. You give people the benefit of the doubt in the beginning, but if they mess with you, they will forever know that you now have a red flag towards them, and you're gonna be nice, but you're gonna be very careful with them. And now they have to work very hard to build that trust back with you. Pile number 3. So with the Hangman in reverse here, pile number 3, I see that you're very on your feet, alert with the environment around you. Even though you're very intuitive, you're very present, you're very in the moment. Pile number 3. And you're not the person who is surprised by people's actions very frequently, because you have your eyes in your head. You notice things very quickly, and you already can see who and what type of person is going to act in a toxic way, and which type of person might be a person who would attack you. You've done this homework, and while you're very nice, you're very alert. And this is one of the reasons why you're not attacked very easily, because you already can see what person may do what, and therefore you put out the appropriate front that will match those of the people around you. So you are very nice, but very alert. And it's this alertness that shocks people who initially think that you're very nice, because you're quick to act out and call them off or set this boundary that you have. You've noticed things pretty quickly, and your noticing abilities is one of the things that help you create strong boundaries between you and the people around you. Pile number 3. So with the 2 of Wands in reverse here, pile number 3, I see you as a person who doesn't sit there waiting for other people to attack you, because you are not a reactor. Pile number 3. You're more of an actor. So if you notice that someone has been betraying some toxic behavior that only you can see it, you're going to start planting out some seeds and some ideas about who you are as a person. You might give out a strong front. You might tell a story of someone who might have tried at one point to mess with you in a certain situation, and you did this and this and that. And this is one of your strategies in order to keep people at bay and be careful not to mess with you. And this is a quite unique characteristic there, pile number 3. Because again, don't forget, you have this beautiful, attractive persona, whether both physical, both physical and person with your personality and your character. And so people in the beginning are fooled initially into thinking you're a very, very sweet person, which you are, don't get me wrong. You are a very sweet person. But with your sense of alertment and quick to act out if someone is not behaving properly, with your very witty way of planting the seeds into making people understand that they can't behave in the wrong way, you set your boundaries very strong. So you're not gonna always wait for people to attack first. Remember when I said you're not reactive? You're not gonna wait for people to attack first so that you can show them who you are. You are a person who plants your boundaries before they happen. Pile number 3. That is so interesting. I love that about you. Please let me know who you are in the comment section. Pile number 3. I love this beautiful balance that you have here. It's very smart, very witty, and not a lot of people have this unique way of keeping boundaries. Your intuitiveness, your attractiveness, as well as with your lack of being reactive by planting seeds, makes you very unique, pile number 3. I'd love to get more about you, know more about you. And with the moon here, you are definitely a very attractive person physically, and that gives you a lot of credit socially, and it helps you as well with your boundaries for sure. People are initially very amazed by you, pile number 3. So pile number 3, one of the things that you do to keep your boundaries is that you keep them in a very pleasant, graceful way. So you don't call people out by saying, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to do this and do that to you. Are you a stupid person? Are you silly? Are you this? You're not very harsh with your words. You are very smart in terms of calling people out with humor. You are very witty, so your comment initially looks on the outside like it's a sweet comment, but it's a backhanded compliment. It shows people not to mess with you, pile number 1, without being rude or without letting other people blame you for what you said. So you're very smart in terms of how you protect yourself, pile number 3. It comes out in a pleasant way, in a humorous way, and people can't call you out for what you just said, but it keeps your boundaries super strong while maintaining your grace and your pleasant personality, pile number 3. Very interesting character. I love your character, pile number 3. Okay, so you have the 5 of Wands in reverse. Again, this really shows me that one of your ways to keep boundaries is not to get into is not to bicker with other people, is not to get into silly fights. You're not concerned about proving yourself right or showing that you are the better person out of the people sitting. You have a lot of self-confidence for that, pile number 3. You don't get yourself into bickering. You either call out in a nice way or you walk out. You keep your grace constantly, and that's one thing that people truly admire about you, pile number 3. It keeps your self-respect very high, and because you have this very high self-respect towards yourself, people treat you with the same respect. They feel like it's almost indecent to do certain things with you. They feel embarrassed to act in certain ways with you like they would do with other people, pile number 3. Very interesting character right there. Oh, that's interesting. So one of the things that you do not tolerate whatsoever, pile number 3, is lying, cheating, any unethical behavior, really. If you feel like the people that you're talking to or dealing with you think they're gonna fool you or manipulate you, you are going to cut them off. You do not allow any manipulative behavior. You do not allow any dishonest behavior. You do not allow anyone to think they can mess with you in any dishonest way existing on the planet. And because you're a very honest person by nature, it's what keeps you very intuitive. Your honesty with yourself and with other people. It's why you don't accept dishonesty, because you don't give it to other people. You're very honest and you respect that about yourself, and you're gonna cut off any behavior that is immature, as you can see, that is dishonesty, that is dishonest, that is manipulative. You don't fall into that trap like so many people. While others can get drowned into not knowing why people are acting the way they do and what they meant when they said that, and you don't get into that. If it's dishonest, pile number 3, you are simply going to cut it off, and you're never going to let go of this pleasant, calm behavior that is present throughout your reading. You're pleasant, happy, mature, and calm, and you're not going to get out of this state. You never get yourself into this behavior. You wish people well, but you cut them off of your life. That's one of your very strong boundaries there, pile number 3. So pile number 3, it was really an honor doing this reading for you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 4. So you've chosen this beautiful rainbow obsidian, and you have quite a unique character, pile number 4, because when the rainbow obsidian's dark exterior is exposed to light, you can see some colorful bands appearing, and you can really see the beauty of this stone with the light. So what I see straight away is, before people get to know you, they can see your strong character, your very strong boundaries, and only when they learn about your strength, and when they learn about what you can do, and how strong your character is, then you might show them the other part of you, this beautiful strong side, this beautiful soft side that exists within you, pile number 4. I see that a long time ago, whether you remember it or not, you used to be openly emotional. You used to show this beautiful side of you, but you've learned very quickly about what life is. You've learned very quickly the lesson of boundaries, and that's what developed your strong character ever since you were a very little girl or boy. And you've developed this technique of keeping a strong exterior, showing people what you're all about first, and if you get along, then you can show them this beautiful, emotional, soft side of you that also exists within you, pile number 4. Very interesting personality there. The rainbow obsidian, it takes you on a journey of evolution, which really shows me that your strong boundaries, they were learned and developed over time. Your strong character has been something that you've developed over time, almost unconsciously, really, by observing the outside world, taking decisions, and developing the way you deal with people to make sure that you are true to yourself, but at the same time, you keep a strong boundary between what other people can think they can do to you or not. Pile number 4. Very interesting personality right there. All right, now let's have a look at what your tarot cards have to say about what your strong boundaries are. What do you allow in? Pile number 4. Whoop, this wanted to fall. Not going to stop it. And what you don't allow in. So, pile number 4. What boundaries do they have? What do they allow in? And what do they not allow in? I'm just going to take this top one, and I haven't seen the other one. Whatever's been underneath that card, so that we can pull out the cards ourselves. All right, so the first card that appeared for you, pile number 1, is the Knight of Swords. So, like we said, you are like a soldier that's on the front. You make sure to show people right away that you did not like their behavior, and that's one of your strong boundary keeping systems. Pile number 1, you are very strong at taking action, you're very strong at speaking out, and you take action straight away to adjust a behavior that you don't like and keep people at bay, understanding that if they act in a way that you don't like, you're going to call them out. Pile number 1 and 4. So that's one of the things that you do to keep a strong boundary between you and other people. So pile number 4, one of the things that you use to keep a strong boundary between you and other people is your strong facade. You have this beautiful, strong, attractive character, a confident person. People notice you straight away by the way you walk, by the way you get into a room, by the way you talk to people. And it's this strong facade that you show that makes people very wary of how to deal with you, because you seem like a person who's going to knock them off their feet if they do not behave with you well. You have this strong character that you show people very proudly, and it shows people that you're not the sort of person that they can mess with. You also have this attractive magnetism, just like the rainbow obsidian here. Do you see the Queen of Wands along with the rainbow obsidian? You have this balance, you have this integration between strength and being attractive with the way you speak and the way you walk and the way you talk. And it's just like the rainbow obsidian. It's like a rainbow to your character. You seem very strong, but very attractive at the same time. And it makes you heard straight away. It makes people want to watch you and listen to you. And it's one of the things that really pulls people towards you and gives you this magnetic touch to your facade. And it's one of the things that truly keeps a strong boundary between you and people. So while you are very attractive, people know that you will call them out and you will not allow any bad behavior to happen to you. You will definitely be the person who protects themselves very, very well. So pile number 4. Yes, you are pile number 4. So pile number 4, one of the things that I see you do is that you do not miss any opportunity in any kind of behavior to show people that you will have a strong boundary. So while other people would pick what to call other people out on and what not to call other people out on, you have a different strategy. Your strategy, as we discussed in the beginning, is to show people that you are not to be messed with. So small or big, meant or not meant, your strategy is to first show people that you will not allow anything to come through. And this way they learn not to ever mess with you, and then they can start to see the other beautiful side of you. And that's one of your strong ways to show what your personal boundaries are. Pile number 4. Very strong personality there. You do not feel sorry for people while other people can talk to you and tell you, pile number 4, that was a little harsh, don't you think? Did it really deserve for you to say this and this to the other person? You believe the complete opposite. You don't feel sorry about calling out people who thought that they can mess with you. And if they thought they can mess with you, then they deserve whatever it is that you said. You will never be convinced about letting things go sometimes like other people advise you to do. You will always believe in setting these boundaries in whatever happens, because it has always protected you, and to letting people know what you're made of, what you're all about, and it keeps you in a strong position always And it doesn't drag you into other problems that people face. While other people come back to you and tell you, oh, this person did this and this to me. Oh, this person, I gave them so many chances and look what they've done and how they've treated me after all the nice things I've done to them. To you, your answer is always, you were wrong about giving all these chances. You could have shown this person not to mess with you in the beginning. I told you it was very important to show people that you have strong boundaries and that you respect yourself, because you always have to respect yourself first so that you can respect other people. And that's what you truly believe in, and that's what you're never going to let go of. And that is what keeps you out of these sort of problems from the very beginning, allowing only the wonderful people to pass through these very harsh gates, and so you can enjoy your life better. Pile number 4. Very interesting strategy there. So pile number 4. One of your strong boundaries is that you do not let toxic behavior pass through, especially jealous behavior coming from maybe other women if you're a woman, or other men who are not able to achieve the things that you've achieved. So while other people keep complaining about, oh, this jealous person did this to me, this jealous person did that to me, why am I surrounded by jealous people, why do jealous people constantly hate what I do? You don't have this problem, pile number 4. And the reason you don't have this problem is very clear in the cards. You keep strong boundaries, and so these jealous type of people are not able to go through to you in the first place. And by keeping the strong boundaries, you are able to keep jealous people at bay. I mean, they can be all jealous of you in their own head, but they don't dare act out and show you how jealous they are, or call you out because of their jealousy, because they are very afraid of what you're going to say. They're very afraid of what you're going to do, and so they can have their pity party all by their own.